you that you could turn off your video by clicking the video button on the bottom left of your Zoom screen there. If you don't want your voice recorded either, you are welcome to put comments and questions in the chat, and we will make sure they are read out and part of the session. If you have any concerns about the recordings, please do not hesitate to contact Lara at CCP Workshop at notsamat.com, and I'm sure someone from the team there will post that in the chat. And with that, I believe we are ready to pass it on to Kianna.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Jesse, for your warm welcoming and taking care of the housekeeping. I'm honored to be here today and to help open. Just like to open saying, I'd nata siam salkwan nat siaya nat ali shwelakwa I'd sevka kwat siatla atanakwel. Good morning, respected elders, friends, and relatives, my beautiful brothers and sisters. I would like to thank you all for being here today. Anthapat Salamia, Quinitan Snay, Kianna Watts, Tanitsanat Snaw-naw-as. My name is Kianna Watts. My ancestral name is Salamia. I am from Snaw-naw-as First Nations. My parents are Rachel Watts from Tishat and Chris Bob from Snaw-naw-as. My mom's parents are Linda Williams and Rudy Watts. And my dad's parents are Rocky Bob and Denise Bob. One of my elders asked when I introduced myself to always introduce my lineage and where I come, who I come from and where I come from. So that was just kind of why I was sharing that. With my community, currently we are on the planning stages of our CCP currently. Our CCP was actually drafted in 2018 by a counselor. They were a previous counselor, and unfortunately, when they left their position, the CCP kind of also got left as well. So I'm excited about CCP because I think like writing CCP means that like we get to write our rules and respect our ways and incorporate them into our ways of being. That way we can hold our values and priorities and vision all in one space. And I think if we I would like to take this CCP course and kind of learn to incorporate it into our community that would have a long-lasting, that would suit our long-term goals and not just our short-term goals, like Jesse was saying. I'm really happy to be here with the CCP here today. I see some familiar faces. I'm really thankful for Notsamat. I think getting to come to these workshops, this is my third workshop here. I really enjoy coming to these because I think this is my third, so I've gotten to grow and learn a lot here. I've gotten to watch Jesse's baby Ida grow. I think Bronwyn's gotten to watch me grow since I was maybe a teenager, and now I'm kind of getting into young adulthood where I feel more confident and excited to take on these big roles and responsibilities and be the youth that can take on my community to the next level and kind of work off of all the work that my ancestors, all the work that the previous generation has done, and kind of you know, I've been shadowing for the past couple of years, and like now I'm starting to get more confident in my role and ready to take on like the work that needs to happen. And the work that's happening is good work because this is the work that's we can do with our youth, that we can do with our elder. This is making sure that everyone's voice is included and that we get to write our rules our way. So it's very empowering for our people. And what the work that we're doing today, it's going to help us in the long run, and it will create a solid foundation for our plan. And I think This will help us to lead in making healthy relationships with organizations outside of like our own nation and networking with other communities to see what everyone else is doing, and how we can all help each other to be better, because we're stronger when we work together. I guess another thing that I'm really thankful for is the friends I've made here along the way. A little story I can kind of share was before COVID hit, and I came to the last CCP in Harrison Hot Springs, and I actually connected with a girl from Tsleil-Waututh named Caitlin Alec. She couldn't be here with us today. She's on maternity leave. She just gave birth to a beautiful baby girl on October 4th, but we connected so much. Her daughter is actually named Kianna May Alec Galley. So it was just so heartwarming to make those connections with people and connect with relations outside of my nation. I live in Snaw-naw-as. We have maybe just about 250 people, just a little less than 300. But like I've made connections in Hamalko and Tsleil-Waututh and along all the 14 nations that I believe it's 14 nations that Not covers, but I'm always thankful for all the people that I get to meet along the way. And I just wanted to say thank you, and I'm excited for what the rest of the day entails. So,
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Kianna. It's just so nice, as you say, to have your presence here in your story, and especially for the other youth that are here in the workshop, to know that you don't have to go away for years and years and years of school to do CCP, because it's community driven. And so you can mentor under other planners, work with other communities, work in your own community, and come into these roles with the knowledge that you know the community, you can support people to share their vision and goals. And like yourself today, you can speak confidently about your nation and who you are and where you're going. So it's just such a joy to see you here and hear the kind words you've shared about others. Note that in Slack, we do have a channel for community stories if folks want to ask follow-up questions to Kianna. But we do have a moment, I think we have like a couple of minutes, if anyone would like to ask Kianna any questions about her role as in the CCP or her community CCP process. Is there anyone that would like to share some words with Kianna or ask a question? Maybe I'm going to jump in with one. Kianna, I know one thing that a lot of my planning students have been asking about lately, and we've been dealing with in my own nation, is community engagement during COVID. And different communities have really different approaches to it. And so I wonder if for your nation, have you found any really helpful ways to keep people included in the conversations and reach out to different folks, despite the challenges of coming together during COVID times?
Oh, yes. COVID has definitely made things a little bit challenging, but I think our nation is kind of, it made us adapt into how we communicate with our nation. I know with our language classes and that sort of thing, we will use Zoom to connect with our community. And now that restrictions allow, we will have like very COVID safe, like outdoor events. So everyone is spaced out. We do a lot of newspapers and deliveries to homes, like with gifts and care packages to their door. And yes, I'd say that was how we dealt with COVID, was just socially distancing and, trying to support each other from afar as best we could.
Thank you for that. We've got Kim with her hand up, so I'm going to go to Kim for the question, and then after that we have a question in chat, and I think that will be the end of the Q&A for now, knowing we can bring it into Slack. So Kim, nice to see you this morning, and go ahead whenever you're ready with your question.
It's really nice to see you too. My question is, because she is so young, and I am a CCP coordinator in Quebec. We struggle and challenge with getting our youth on board. So coming from a different demographic of her being such a young person, does she find that she's had an increase in participation from the younger generation? And how did she do that?
We're still in the early stages of our CCP. With our youth, it's definitely a little tough getting them in the door, but it just takes a lot of like encouragement, not just kind of like one reminder that there's a CCP, you know, just constantly reminding them that it's there. And I guess just kind of we find the barcodes that kids can scan with their phone. Those are seem to help a lot because a lot of kids have phones and are always interested to scan and see what it does. So that was a way. And we also did some giveaways. Whenever students like go back to school, we'll give them backpacks filled with back to school type things. A lot of rewards for coming and sharing their opinion and sharing their voice, because it is intimidating for youth to share their voice sometimes in a group of adults where they can kind of feel like their voice isn't heard, or like the adult's voice is more. So like we always kind of emphasize that it's like a safe place to share. And when they are there, to try and stay moving, I suppose, and like, you know, like kind of like how it's set up here with this workshop, you know, like little breaks to get up and shake and socialize and drink water, and not sitting for long periods of time. And that's what we found worked. So yes. Thank you for your question, Kim.
Thanks so much for those tips, Kianna. And actually, I'm just realizing that we don't have a youth engagement topic in the breakout session. So a really great opportunity to ask that. And I love that idea about QR codes. This is making me feel like, why haven't I been putting those on CCP posters all along? And so I'm going to paste a link in the chat to a place where people can go put in a link to, I think you could do it for Zoom, like Zoom links, but also website links, hey, and make a QR code to put on posters so people could scan it or scan it on their screen. Such a great idea. Thank you so much for that, Ken, as well as the other suggestions. There was one final question in chat from Iona, which is just, can you remind us how far along your community is in the CCP process? We talked about those 4 phases, pre-planning and planning, but just how long have you been doing CCP for?
Okay, ours, I want to say since 2019, but COVID kind of put a little damper in like the middle of it. So we're still in the early stages of planning.
Right. Thank you for that. Yeah, it's the same in my nation. We're doing just a CCP update. It's our 3rd CCP. And we started last fall, and we're hoping to have the draft CCP by now, but things slowed down so much basically over the whole summer from like springtime to now. And so it's going a lot slower than it would have originally. So interesting to hear that's the same for you and maybe lots of others. Hey, that when things happen, it's not a reason to quit or get discouraged, but we just need to slow down and recognize things take more time when there's more challenges in our way. Well, again, thank you so much for being here to share your confidence and your tips and your community story. We're just so grateful to have you here in the workshop, Kianna. And again, hopefully folks, if they have other questions or comments for you, they could share them in chat right now or in Slack in the Community Stories channel. And hope folks enjoyed hearing this little story. We'll have more CCP stories as we go through the workshop. You'll hear from other communities who are at various parts of their CCPs, including in the breakout sessions, and encourage you to share your own experience as well, like Geneva's done in the CCP chat, sharing that their community just got their first CCP after 3 years of hard work. So love these little anecdotes about how things are going for you. Please feel free to continue sharing them and keep the conversation going. Let's put our hands together for Kianna using our little Zoom reaction or wiggling our fingers or something just to let you know that we appreciate you and your voice and your words.
Thank you.
We are going now to some remarks from Allison.